Hi everyone, it's time for today's team meeting. It's Wednesday. We meet Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today I'm coming to you from one of my favorite parks. Let's see if we can get this. Oh, hope you can see me okay though. Yeah, that's a little dark, but we're gonna go with it because the sun is leaving. So, today's team meeting. First, let me say that we're coming to you Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And by we, I mean me, but I do have two co-hosts, my daughter and my 11-year-old nephew. So they are a part of the show. I need to acknowledge that. So that's our housekeeping. We're still Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, even though pretty soon I'll have a podcast, which is like a radio program that you get on demand and it's free. You already have an app on your phone, or it'll be easy for you to access the podcast. I will show you how when it's time. Still working out those details. Meanwhile, I'm still coming to you via video, and I'll still do that several times a week. Well, let me first tell you a funny. I always want these meetings to be unlike any team meeting you've been to, because many people, a lot of people hate meetings, right? And in my 20 years of being in corporate America, I've led some really good meetings where we got a lot of things done, and I've been involved and led some very horrible meetings where everybody's confused, nobody's motivated, and nothing gets done. I've had both, but this is unlike that. This is a meeting where it's more like a community. We're coming together to discuss common issues with life, create actions, learn, laugh, grow. That's our motto here. Do I have all the answers? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No, I don't. But I am dramatic, so you can expect. Look at that bird. Lovely. All right, let me start with the funny. I once had a blind date that lasted 15 minutes. It had been a crazy day for me, and this is back when I was living in Ohio. And my colleague set me up with a blind date, and I was late because I had to get my car fixed because the engine blew out because I forgot to put oil in it. Yep, there I said it. There was no engine light, no warning or anything, but all of a sudden I'm driving down the interstate and my car died. Turns out it needed a new engine. That all got sorted out, but it was a dramatic day and I still wanted to keep the date. So I was there maybe 15, 20 minutes late. But the date only lasted 15 minutes because once I came in, and I admit, I came in kind of hot. I was like, oh my God, you have no idea what happened to my car. And then this, and then this, and then a stranger had to get me a ride to the gas station. This is back when cell phones weren't so popular. So then maybe 10 minutes after I did my intro and I blew through the story so fast, talking too fast, as I tend to do, he said, well, I need to go now. I have to tutor a little girl. It was 9 o'clock at night. And he had to tutor a little girl, then maybe I needed to call the police on him. But we know what that really was. We know what that really was, don't we? Do you like my shirt? It's mixed print. You got the blue, the black, the yellow. Yeah, I love it, but it's not for everybody. That mixed print will get you. Anyway, he said he had to go, so he left. It's fine, it's totally fine. He was not meant for me anyway. He actually had told me that he hated his family. So I'm not really interested in dating a guy who hates his family. I'm very into mine. I want to be involved with his too. Let's get to the topic. Today's topic is hope. There's this common theme going around. I don't know if it's on Facebook as much as it's on Twitter and maybe Instagram, where people will print a graphic and it'll say how it started, how it's going. And it's meant to tell a story about someone's journey through something, maybe weight loss, maybe being single, having a relationship or a wedding. Maybe how it started was single, how it ended was they have triplets now or something. Anyway, it's meant to be dramatic. And I take it as, usually, sometimes it's a joke, but it's meant really to inspire hope. What I want to talk about today is a little bit about hope. I have some quote cards coming out. They're at the printer now. One of the quotes that I created, this is not a new concept, but I said, keep your hopes high. Hope is like having the beginning of faith, because you actually, okay, things might work out, that might get better, and then it inspires you to take further steps deeper into where you eventually have faith saying, yeah, it's going to be all right. Hope is important. Hope is important. So how it started and how it's going is a story of hope in my view. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about my examples of things that, how it started and how it's going. Let's talk about my hips again. How did it start? It started with me being devastated by a diagnosis to get hip replacements. I went to the orthopedic specialist soon after I had pain and had insurance. I had pain, had to wait, finally got insurance, went to the doctor. The first specialist, I went straight to the specialist. I knew it was a bone issue. I went to the specialist, orthopedic specialist. It was in Atlanta. 5 minutes after looking at my x-rays, they took them after I told them what the pain was. 5 minutes after looking at my x-rays, they said, you're very unlucky. You have to have hip replacements, both hips. And that visit lasted about 10 minutes because he was done. There was nothing else to discuss, no remedies to discuss, no shots to be had, no pills to be given. He said, you need hip replacements, bye-bye. That is the opposite of hope. But I tell it as how it started to show you how low things got. How it's going would be for me to show you a picture of me in the middle of one of my cycle classes, telling people not to be intimidated by resistance. How it started, how it's going in the middle. That's a story of hope from here to there. Did I know when I got the diagnosis that I would eventually be a cycle instructor? Insert curse word no. I barely could walk. I was in so much pain that I would cry at night. I was in so much pain I couldn't go through Target. I've told this story. I wrote it as an electronic book on Amazon. Activating Your Inner Superhero. And it's about me and my hips. Of course I didn't know how it started was going to end up with how it's going now. Devastation. I'll give you another example. Hope. We're talking about hope today. How it started with me being in my infancy. I'd say 8, 9, 10, playing with my Barbie dolls. Ken and Barbie always had a great relationship. They would cuddle under the face towel that I put them under, and they would plan their life, and they would say they're going to have this many children, or they would have to have children. They would love each other so much. That's how it started. 8, 9, 10 age. How it's going is, it is still an ongoing story because I'm not married yet. But I got to be in my 30s, in my early 40s, and Ken and Barbie was not my life. Not only did I not have any children, but I still wasn't married yet. And I've got friends who've married, divorced, or just still married. And I'm none of that. It's windy, beautiful day in Phoenix. So how it started, sort of still going, but here's how it's going now. Because it's not ended, the story's still going. I have a daughter, and I never would have thought that I would adopt the most beautiful little girl. Story of hope. I went through an old journal post from 2018, sitting in a Starbucks, dreaming about my life, and I said, how am I going to have a family? Because I decided, okay, I guess I'm adopting. And I said, am I going to do a private adoption? Am I going to go overseas and get a baby? Am I going to go through foster care and take care of babies until there's one who needs a permanent home? Well, I ended up going through foster care and adopting my daughter. I'm very fortunate. She came into my life at 8 months. But that's not what I had planned, but that's how it's going. A story of hope. How it started, how it's going. What I want to tell you today. I want to tell you to keep your hope high. So whatever that thing is that's bothering you, the heartache, I know about it. My father died when he was 48 years old. And so when he died, I thought all bets are off. The sun has to stop shining. The world is ending. It crushed me. It crushed me. Is that pain gone? Pro tip. Let's get real here. That pain never goes away. That pain never goes away. But I want to tell you, those of you who are grieving, who are hurting, who are aching, who are desperate for hope, hold on. But realize it's not going to be easy. It's going to be painful for a long time. There's still going to be pain forever. Does it vary in the intensity? Yep. I still miss my dad. My dad didn't get to meet his granddaughter or his grandson. That's certainly still hope. That certainly still hurts, but I certainly still have hope. So my heart goes out to all of you who are experiencing loss and devastation. I know exactly what that pain feels like in this pandemic. I worked in corporate America for 20 years. Now I don't. Am I hopeful? Absolutely. I'm so hopeful. I'm so excited. It's going to end up being a story of a blessing in disguise, but I know what it's like to hurt and to struggle to find ways to not feel like nothing good happens to you. So I want you to be encouraged in today's discussion about hope, how it started, how it's going. This is an agenda about hope. My question for you and my action for you is going to be for you to examine that. So let's review. What have we talked about? We talked about Tara's 15-minute date. No, we don't want to talk about that again. Bless him wherever he's at. He's probably found the love of his life and they're living a life. They went to tell them for their honeymoon. Who knows? Bless him. No hard feelings. And I'll tell more about other blind dates. There are some more stories there. But what we've talked about is hope. Even if it's low, even if it's very hard to see, hold on to that little piece that you have, because it can grow, develop into faith. But I know that it's hard to hold on during this time, but I'm encouraging you to not let go. Don't let go. The fact that you're listening to me shows me that you're not letting go. What's your action? Your action is to think about the areas of your life that have been devastating you and you don't want to think about it, but I want to dare you to think about the best possible scenario that could come from it. Maybe you're broke. Think about getting a client or a new job or a new assignment or an increase in money. What? Imagine it. Imagine it. If you're having trouble in your relationship, imagine that relationship getting better, or imagine being in a relationship that's fantastic. Just imagine it. How it started could be very dirty and ugly and blurry and uninspiring. Just get a little bit of hope to imagine it being better. That's your assignment for today. So let's meet again on Friday. Check in. Tell me what you're thinking in the comments. Where do you need to develop hope? What techniques do you use when you feel hopeless? Because I tell you what, there have been times in my life when I thought it was like my middle name, hopeless. Because I never thought good things were, there was a period of time when I didn't think good things could happen to me. But that's all we have for today. That's the end of the meeting, because we come here and it's unlike other meetings that you're attending on Zoom for work. We're not boring. Tara tells stories about blind dates that went bad. And I wear jewelry. And I take you to spots like this in Arizona where I'm wearing pleather pants and no socks and tennis shoes. Is that too much information? Maybe it might be. All right, that's the end. We come back Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. This is the team meeting, and I'm Tara Lynn, and I'm so happy you joined me. Tell me what you think. Keep your hopes high. Enjoy the rest of your day. Talk soon.